One additional thing I'd like to talk about for Module 8 is the use of Github Desktop. Now, GitHub is something that we've been using throughout the course, but we go to the website to do it. And often developers work with the GitHub storage of our files and stuff differently. They often will go through and use a command prompt application or perhaps the desktop application. In both cases, what they do is they upload the files to the GitHub website, at least by default. And the program that is actually running in the background on your machine is called Get. Now, Get is a piece of software that you download and install. It'll be installed if you download and install it directly, or if you download and install it through GitHub Desktop. And what it does is it manages your files. So it will allow you to make copies of your files, and it'll track the changes. And when you make a change, you can save it as a new version of the same file. It can maintain copies of the original, so you can always roll it back to the original file if you need to. And it also allows you to upload and download from the GitHub website. So it's pretty handy. For the most part, the hardcore developers consider using the Get command prompt tool the way to go. But for many people, it's not that comfortable to do that, and there's really not a problem with using GitHub Desktop as the website says. It's a simple collaboration tool, and it focuses on working with uploading your files and tracking your file changes instead of trying to deal with the command prompt. Now, if you're a serious developer, you'll probably want to use the command prompt eventually, and that's something that you can investigate in the next module. But in this module, take a few minutes to mess around with GitHub Desktop. It's easy to download, and it'll also install Git for you at the same time. Of course, it runs on both Windows and Mac OS, and although there are some differences, in general, it's going to work very similar. Now, once you've downloaded it and you start the install, you just go through the installation, it'll come to a point where they ask you to log in and authorize. Now, you can delay that, or I would recommend you just go ahead and log in with the account we've been using. It'll bring up a screen to ask you to authorize it. You need to authorize it before you can continue, and then it'll allow you to open up GitHub Desktop, and you'll see this screen. Now, if for some reason you didn't log in, you can always go to File Options and sign in or sign out, and you can change it. So it's not like you have to do it immediately when you get the installation done. But eventually you'll want to go ahead and log in. So once you're logged in, now it can synchronize with your different repositories. So I've made several repositories, or been given access to several repositories, and they show up in here. These are the ones that I have access through my account on GitHub. And the interface does change a little bit over time, so this may look a little bit different, although it's just mostly in dark mode right now. The buttons seem to be the same. If I have something I want to open up and look at, I can just drag and drop it over into this area, or I can click on it, a little button shows up and allows me to clone the files from there to my local machine. When I click on that button, what's going to happen is it's going to pop up a window allowing me to say I'm going to copy it from here and paste it, if you would, here. And once that's done, the folder will be populated with the files from that GitHub website. Now, at that point, I can just go through and navigate to the folder in Explorer, or they give me a cool little button, allow me to press it, and I can go see where my files are at. And you can start just changing your files. It's a good way to test it. So what I would do is I'd come over here and say, okay, I'm going to clone this, and it'll ask me where I'm going to put it. That looks like a good spot. You can change it if you want. Just going to copy the files down. Okay, and again, here's the button. I can open that up. I can see the stuff in here. Now there's a test file. I've got some text in here. this is more text. And I'll save that. And that's made a change. So we can see that it's tracked the changes. It's got a history here. It's tracked the changes. What we see is the stuff in green is the new stuff. You see the little plus sign there? That's what's changed. Now if I had removed something, let's see, I take that out and I save it. It tracks that too. It shows the little negative sign in there. So that's how that works. And then if I want to go through and upload it, I can click on the button to commit to master. It'll upload that to my master account. It'll make sure that I mean it. Push it up to the website. And now if I go out to GitHub's website and I take a look, I will be able to see that change has occurred up there. So now we come over to my little text file, and you can see that it's missing that line. It's got "this is more text." So that is what's going on. I can see the commitments here, the update of the text. And I can see that the changes that have occurred. So that's how it works. It's a pretty easy to use tool, and I think it's worth your time to investigate it. It doesn't take long to install. It's pretty easy to kind of play around with and get the feel for how it works. Definitely worth a few minutes of your time. And once you get the hang of this, I think maybe next week when you're working on the next module, you might want to take a look at Get also. If you're planning on taking the Python certificate program here at the University of Washington, they will be using the command version of that. And I have put some links in the next module for you to go out and watch some videos and stuff on that. But this week, let's keep it simple. Check out GitHub Desktop. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how easy it is to use, and it's a kind of a good tool to start your GitHub or Git adventure, excuse me. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.